Part 2 of the video covers shooting at 260 metres on this Muntjac silhouette at the top of the range here, and then we're going to drift across to the right where we've got a 200mm steel gong at 305 metres. I've done some more check-ups and testing at 100 metres on paper to shoot a few more groups and further refine the ballistic solution, so I'm going to dial in on these because I'm fairly confident now. But at this range, with a 2-2 rimfire, spin drift is also becoming quite a big consideration as well as wind drift itself. These 5 and 10 round groups at 100 metres are on a 50mm red spot. I want to get my zero at that distance absolutely spot on so that when I'm dialing beyond that I'm making sure my ballistic solution and ballistic calculations are as accurate as possible. A 50m zero is great for sporting ranges and for getting an idea of what sort of elevation values you're going to need, but I think for further precision you really need to stretch the ranges a bit more and work backwards in fact. Before wind and spin drift get too heavily involved, I also want to make sure what the consistency of a 10 round group is like. To check out the ammunition, I'm still using the SK Match here, which is keep improving itself. Precise shot placement at 100 metres required 2.1 milliradians dialing on from the 50m zero, which is 21 clicks. So here we go, the Muntjac silhouette at 260 metres. This was my first 5 round group at 260 metres and I was quite pleased with it. It matched my ballistics closely on the first day out, but this was actually my second day and I made a couple of clicks difference to the ballistic solution. After I'd shot this group I tested the other ammunition aiming at the rump of the deer instead, but I did find both other types, the SK Long Range and the SK Standard Plus, both showed significantly more vertical dispersion. The first group you can clearly see is pretty much spreading windage only, although there is one flyer which shot quite low to spoil the group. I ended up with 11.8 milliradians in total dialed on for this 260 metre shot. That's 9.7 milliradians above the 100 metre. At 305 metres, it was nice to be able to notice that the lighter striker did cause less disruption when the gun fired. You couldn't detect any kind of movement from the firing pin clicking home. The stability of the gun, even on a slightly wobbly bench, and the very light bolt handle manipulation helped it stay on target with faster shot procedures enabled, which helps you keep within the same wind condition. I know I look like I'm shooting deliberately fast, and believe me, I am shooting as fast as I feel comfortable with to try and catch those same wind conditions.
Oh yes!
It's very tricky seeing that bullet splash in a soft muddy bank at 305 metres, so if you're not on the target itself, it's hard to tell exactly where your bullet's landed. According to my data now, I think I can stretch a shot as far as 350 metres without using secondary aim points on the reticle. This is going to be another project for next week. It's interesting to note you start needing an increasing amount of spin drift, although in these conditions it was helped because it was fighting into the wind itself. What was even more amazing was the variation of sunlight coming through the overcast sky had a significant effect on vertical shift and the ballistics of the bullet in flight. Here you can see, I've pretty much peppered this target. I must have put 50 rounds down in total. It's interesting to note after all the shooting, spray up the target, you get a really good idea of just the variability of the wind. I don't really want to waste a load of paint here, but
You can probably see how it just flows in every direction.
Don't panic, I'm not cheating anybody. I'd purely run out of white paint, so I now need to redo the target in yellow. But you can see the marks of the bullet splash from the previous picture.
And that's all affecting your bullet.
Now I've come back to 150 metres just to check some shots on target and check some shifting wind conditions. You'll notice these ones drop a little bit low, and I think that's because I'm getting a slight downdraft off the hillside beyond. This is my standard fixed bench position, and I have to say it's quite nice shooting off a more stable support again when you want precise bullet placement on target for setup. I didn't want to just shoot from prone or the bench. I took the opportunity to move around the range, and here I'm using the ladder up to my tree stand for some standing shots. It's supported all the same, but a little bit more akin to a barricade at a PRS match. The rifle shows a slightly rearward weight balance, and the grippy recoil pad stays locked in your shoulder, especially because you can rotate its angle. It might look like my fingers and thumb are on top of the barrel, but they're not. The forend is very meaty and there's lots of space to get your hand gripping it in position and holding it down onto the soft bag. The trigger guard is polymer and not metal. I don't think you're going to break it too easily, and it's very sleek in appearance. Although the barrel is 22mm in diameter and you're certainly never going to bend it, it's always ideal never to have anything in intermittent contact with it, and that applies to your fingertips and thumbs just as much as the stock. This is a really good rifle for that because it fully free floats the barrel in all circumstances. It's also good to note that the back end of the rifle has got some quick release stud cups, so you can put a biathlon type sling on it on either side of the rifle, which in itself is ambidextrous other than the bolt handle. This makes carrying it very handy, especially if you've got a long day tote around with it. Some shooters might always favour a chassis rifle. I don't think there's anything stopping you adding Picatinny rail on the sides and underside of the forend to add extra accessories.
Most of my shooting time has been done predominantly, I did an initial zero on it and a quick sort of running and test with various rimfire ammunition I'd knocking around, but I managed to get hold of quite a decent quantity of SK. Standard Plus I've used in a lot of rifles over the last 5 years, and it's always been a good performer. Good in this rifle, but let's talk about the long range match. This one actually goes supersonic. It's great out to about 175 metres, but after that, although still good, hang on, that is the one I like the most. This is the SK match ammunition. Again, subsonic, it's doing about 1,075, 77 feet per second. This has shown the other two up. The ballistics are similar to the SK Standard Plus in terms of the drop required, but consistency at distance was notably better with the SK match. The long range, it's good for plinking, and it's quite good out to 175 metres, but it definitely, the match does supersede it, to be quite honest. But they're all very worthy factors, and if you're not going to shoot long range, that is fantastic ammunition, but that's worth a little bit extra. If I was to say anything which is slightly strange, that actually shoots a little bit better at 100 metres than that one does, but we shall see. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed me shooting this rifle. It is one I will, how shall I say, this is a rifle I've shot far more than any other test gun I've had this year. I have really enjoyed shooting it, and it was worth its weight. Which, 6 months down the line, I thought, will it arrive? Will I be disappointed? Well, absolutely, completely not. The fact about it is I have shot it loads and I want to shoot it more. I'm actually probably going to buy it because I do like it that much. What do I like about it? I like the consistency of muzzle velocity. I like the stock, the handling character, the barrel length, the looks of it. The only thing I can possibly complain about, apparently, is the fact that the grease and the lubricant off the bullets tends to stain the stock a little bit here, but that'll probably wipe off, to be quite honest, with a bit of cleaner. The stock is hand-filling, the stippling's grippy, it's a slightly rubberized texture, but it cleans up easily and it gives a good characterful feel to it. It's ambidextrous at the grip, there's a palm swell, obviously both sides, and you've got adjustability on the cheek piece and on the butt pad for up, down, and you've got rotational adjustment on it. It's very comfortable to use. Comes with spacers for length of pull, and there's also a good butt hook here and a bag rider. You'll see me using it predominantly on soft bags like this, but I like the fact I can get my hand well into that, grips in my shoulder, and my elbow is still spaced quite a way out from the gun. It's not, you know, reaching right back like this, because some do have far too short a distance here. And as you bring your hand back, your elbow comes all the way in, and it's just not stable to shoot. I've done some more, how should I say, a bit more dynamic shooting with it. I've, you know, used improvised rests and what's so forth. You can probably tell by the fact the bipod feet are constantly wanting to slip off the front of the bench. It's actually quite a long gun, which gives it good stability for elevation adjustment. Length of pull is nice. It comes in just over 14 inches with the thicker spacers in, but you can adjust that as you like. It needs a T25 Torx key to do the recoil pad adjustment and the cheek piece, which is a slight downside because you can't get the bolt out without taking the cheek piece out in certain positions, but it's not the end of the world. You'll probably see from, you know, lots of video, the bolt handling, it works with fingertips, it works with thumbs, it works with full grip, it works with the back of your hand. It's just excellent. And although this bolt knob, which is slightly rubberized, it's like a faceted huge diamond sort of thing, although it looks quite big and ungainly, it's actually superb, and I just find it completely natural to operate. Mag release is a small catch. It comes with a 5-round mag. You can get 10-round mags for it, and if anything, it's perhaps a teeny little bit fiddly to put in. It's not a problem, it's just not quite as well shaped and as accommodating as some rifles have been made to be, but that is, again, it's not a huge factor. The trigger is adjustable. Feel from the factory is very nice, it's crisp, and I would estimate, I haven't weighed it actually, but I would estimate it's probably weighing in at about 600 or 700 grams. It gives a great feel. So what's the lasting impression? I like shooting the rifle. I found it very consistent. I've shot it out to 305 meters. I'm going to shoot it further. Because it's got a 25 MOA weaver rail included, you've got plenty of elevation built in from the start. So it's well designed for its long range precision tag. So many guns like to use these names, and they're just totally unworthy of it, made by companies with very little appreciation of what the customer needs. This is absolutely the opposite. You know, calling it just another CZ is completely wrong. CZ's a rifle many of us have shot. It's probably one of the foundations of the shooting industry, certainly in England. This is a massive step into the 21st century, and although the 4.57 action barrel, you know, it's got replaceable barrels, etc., different cartridge calibers, although it's available in more sporting formats, this as the long range precision format fits its purpose well. It is beyond suitable for purpose where many other rifles fail to fit purpose, they fail to meet purpose. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching. There's a lot of detail in the video. Please watch it as much as you like, or as, you know, skip on. But please put like, comment, subscribe, and, you know, click the notification bell, because if you like this video, more will happen. Thank you for watching. Enjoy yourself. Shoot safely. And yeah, there we go. This rifle, scope and ammunition is, do you know what, I can't bring myself to send this back. I'm buying it.